Affairs. My name is Harriet Nati.
Back to the show. This is Good Morning Africa here on Pan-African Television with me, AGYEKUM. Big shout out to Bless Kokwalomaso, who was with me during the newspaper headline segment. We are still in conversation, but Bless mentioned earlier that we're going to have a special guest here, representative of the Health Services Union under the Trade Union Congress, TUC, and I'm in the esteemed company of Mr. Franklin Owusu Ansah. Yeah. You know, the name Owusu Ansah reminds me of the late actor.
Oh, Kwame
Owusu. Are you related?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not
Did
at
you
all.
like him?
Well, because of the name, I always want to watch a movie that he was featured.
What was your favorite movie of him?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Good morning, sir, and welcome
morning
to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Fun fact, he has served in his designation for the past 20 years.
Oh, no. I've been part of the union for the past 20 years, but the general secretary for the past 4 years.
4 years.
But before then, I was also the deputy general secretary for 4 years.
So you have risen the ranks.
Yeah.
Where did you start from?
I started as head of department, as head of research and policy for the union.
Yes, and then you have
risen I served there for about 10 years. And after 10 years, I moved on. I contested for the position of the Deputy General Secretary. And then from there, I contested again as the General Secretary for the past 4 years. So that is what I've been doing.
All right. So this morning, we're just going to take a casual look at SNIT. Now, the whole country, you know, went a little bit shaky when the announcement came that SNIT intends to sell its 60% shares in certain hotels here in Ghana, some 4 hotels here in Ghana. And the whole country, you know, was a bit, as I said, shaky. There were demonstrations, there were, you know, activism, advocacy to stop the sale, among other things. When the news came, what was the immediate reaction of your union?
Thank you, my dear sister. I want to say I am privileged to sit here to talk on behalf of my union and also for labor, because I am a labor activist from the perspective of where I sit. Well, we have been aware that SNIT intends to sell its interest or part of its interest, but we were trying to do engagement to see if this will be stopped. So the first time organized labor hinted the president was May Day this year. The Secretary General of TUC hinted the president that there are so many things going on in pensions and he wanted to seek engagement. Not until recently we were not given the opportunity. I'm not going to fault anybody, but behind the scenes, the leadership of organized labor have engaged the SNIT board and have made its intention clear that they will not support the sale of any of the hotels, because by then, organized labor reps on the SNIT board had resisted. And for that matter, when things were going hard for them, they came back to leadership and reported. So after the leadership had engaged the SNIT board and had also engaged the presidency, when we realized things were not going to go in our favor, that was when the Minister for Employment spoke at Parliament, on the floor of Parliament, and said that MPRA had given the go-ahead that SNIT could sell interest. We were taken aback because we had also engaged MPRA, and MPRA in its earlier submission had stated clearly that they were not going to sell. So it came as a surprise when there had been change of position. And we said, wow, is that a case? So that was when organized labor met and said, well, the only thing government will hear, or the board will hear, was to show that SNIT does not belong to the board. They are trustees. They are to hold the fund in trust. And for that matter, the owners are there. And who are the owners? It's you and I, workers. And so if we are not happy, we have to tell them we are not happy. And that is exactly what happened.
Right. So let's move away from that. Do you think, personally, this is a personal question to you, do you think that this decision was politically motivated somewhat?
Not at all. As a trade unionist, and for that matter my position, I don't have to be politically biased. So I should be political neutral. And for that matter, I personally want to believe that I was serving the interest of workers at that particular time.
Absolutely. But then I also want to find out again that did SNIT give any cogent reasons, for that matter, why they want to sell the hotels or their shares in the hotels? Because per what we know, these hotels are faring very well. They are making, maybe one or two of them are not, you know, as compared to the others, but these hotels were doing very well. Were there any, you know, reasons, some solid, you know, deeply rooted foundational reasons why SNIT wanted to take this move?
This is a public information. SNIT has said it over and over again that these hotels are not doing well, and that is why they want to sell it. Well,
but on what basis do they say it's not doing well? Because per what we know, for example, Labadi Beach Hotel, one of the best you can find here in the country.
Well, it is true that some of the hotels are not doing well, because recently I happened to sleep at Elmina Beach Resort and I didn't like the environment, which means that, well, to the best of my knowledge, it can perform better than it is. So if you read their reports, there are suggestions that some of these hotels are not doing well. It's only one that is doing very well. Why is that hotel doing well? That is the Labadi Beach Hotel, that is doing pretty well, because for the past 2 years it has started paying dividend. But the question is, why is that one doing well? When these 4 hotels are being marked that they are not doing well and they wanted to sell, the board took a decision that they need to do some reforms and see. They did the reform in Labadi Beach and it's working now. Why can't they replicate same in the other hotels? Well, if it is about capital injection, where else could they have raised capital? Is selling the hotels the only option? If they want to make a justification for the selling of the hotel, fine. Why then do you say that somebody should purchase these hotels, pay 50% and pay the rest over a period of 3 to 5 years? Does it mean the person is coming to operate, get the profit and use the profit to pay back? Is that what you are saying? Then the other question is, SNIT says when they get that money, they are going to invest part of the money back into the hotels. Does it mean you bring the money, I invest the money in the hotels, it makes the profit and use the profit to pay me? What kind of transaction is this? If somebody is making a point that it is good to sell these hotels, I would not agree with that person. And that is what my people are also saying. And I represent their views of my people. And for that matter, I have to say it as it is.
Now, the union in recent times decided to go on a strike. And we heard that that decision has been annulled. Now, we also saw some stories of the call for the dissolution of the board. How far with that?
Okay. So what organized labor put forward was that the sale of these hotels must cease, must be truncated. That has been done. And that was the reason why we called off the strike. There are other discussions. I have seen press releases from pockets of civil society organization or some labor unions, but that is not the position of organized labor.
Right.
The position of organized labor is one at a time. What we sought for, we have gotten it. The next is putting up a technical committee to look into the affairs holistically, what can be done.
Yeah.
How do we salvage these hotels and Senate itself? We are talking about some reforms. The technical committee will finish its work maximum in a month's time, and when it is out, we can discuss that.
Right, absolutely. So what generally are the measures, pragmatic measures put in place to, secure the welfare of your subjects? I mean, the workers and, the people under your organization, your union. Yeah.
For Health Services Workers Union of TUC members, we are renegotiating our conditions of service. That is the collective agreement with government. We have met about 4 times, and we are making progress.
Right.
Possibly we are meeting again next week. But even today, the union team is meeting to strategize how do we go forward in the next meeting. I just want to tell my people that they should remain calm because we are working for them. We also have collective agreement with other private sector institutions for which we have also started negotiating. So everybody will get his or her fair share.
Absolutely.
When the negotiation
You're
is
doing a
done.
yeoman's job.
That is the work we are employed to do,
Yeah.
and we'll do that.
And you've been in this for 20 years, so you understand the tenets of it and, every other thing that affects the union. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Is there any other thing you'd like us to know? Anything under the carpets that the union is trying to, work on for the safety and general well-being of everyone?
For Health Services Workers Union, there are so many things we are doing for our members. And one of the things we do, and of late people are very happy, is the fact that the union acquires land and give it to our members. They pay over a period of 4 years.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to change my job.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to the health service.
That is interesting. How many people on their own will be able to save out of their salaries to be able to acquire such properties?
Yeah.
So it's one thing the union is doing, and people are very happy with it. Beyond that, we are also trying to top up their pensions. So we have just established a tier 3 pension scheme for the members. I want to encourage everybody to be part of that. Deductions will start in September. Education is ongoing, and even this coming Monday, a team will have a face-to-face engagement with 5 regions in Sunyani, and I think on Thursday there will be another face-to-face training in Tema for another 5 regions. Beyond that, there are virtual trainings that are ongoing for the establishment of this fund, and I want to encourage every member of the union to get him or herself involved, contribute for your future, make sure you secure your future. Tier 1 and Tier 2 is not sufficient. If you don't take advantage of Tier 3, then you are missing out on...
So do you think I should change my job? Because my background is in health. I'm a public health promotions officer.
Then get yourself into that place, and you'll definitely be part of
All right, since we're talking about health and you are, one of the prominent people in that sector, I want to engage you. Permit me to digress. Now, not too long ago, the Ghana Medical Association, Professor, his name, Professor Ernest York, he said that they propose that diploma certificates of nurses and also these, ground-up certificates should be cancelled or terminated. Now, they should start from the degree point. What do you think? Because they feel like the auxiliary nurses or the auxiliary healthcare providers have become too many, and they form more or less 60% of the workforce, which doesn't, propagate professionalism.
Thank you, my dear sister, but I don't want to wade into that argument. The employers are there. They know the mix that they need in terms of workforce. And I want to believe the Ministry of Health the HR.
But does that not fall in your purview?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
And that is why I don't want to wade into it. I'm not a member of GMA, and I'm not a member of JRNMA.
But is the working condition or the general welfare of health workers not in your purview?
Okay, so we have different unions who work at different levels for different groups of people. The medical practitioners and dentists are not part of my union.
Right.
So whatever I do does not affect them. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association and then the other associations also take care of the nurses and the nursing category. So
right.
that is the reason why I don't want to go
Absolutely.
there. So that tomorrow I don't be seen
I
as
get
working
it.
for
I get
somebody
it. Let me
else.
not put you in trouble. Let me not put you in trouble. I respect that. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about you and your aspirations. Now, from where you are right now, you aspire to do greater things by vying. We have heard, you know, birds were chirping and we heard in the air. Wow. From him. That you are intending to vie for the position of Secretary General within the union. How true is that?
I don't know where you got your information from.
We are media people.
But it's interesting. I don't think I'm vying for the Secretary General positions yet. I didn't intend to talk about this, but because you have asked,
I asked you.
And I can't tell lies or say any other thing than to say that yes, I have interest in contesting for the Deputy Secretary General's position. The Congress is in August, and when the time is up, I'll put myself up. If the people think and see what I'm doing, and they want me to continue in that angle, I will serve.
Deputy Secretary General.
Yeah.
Just in case you make that decision and finalize on vying for that position, know that we are rooting for you.
Oh, the decision has already been made.
Oh,
it's just that the time is not up for the voting yet, and that will be at the Congress. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so
but the intention is clear.
Yeah, we are rooting for you.
Thank you for
so
giving
much.
me. I wish you were a delegate to come and vote for me.
What do I do to become a delegate?
Unfortunately, you should have been a member of the union long ago.
My goodness.
And your union would have taken you up as a delegate.
What do I do to become a member of the union?
Oh, you just sign up to one of the unions, depending on where you are. Where you fall, you can be.
Maybe we should talk about it after the show. Right? Thank you so much.
I don't promote one union against the other. That is good.
Absolutely, that's a smart move. Thank you so much. It's been an exciting and insightful conversation with Mr. Franklin Owusu Ansah. Why did I even forget?
But I prefer you calling me Brother Franklin Owusu Ansah.
Brother Franklin Owusu Ansah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon.
Sure.
And to you, thank you so much for choosing us to bring information, education, and entertainment always. Let's make way for the newspaper review segment.